Hi everyone, welcome back to how to use craft as a creative way to share the gospel. And today I want to show you this very first craft that I've learned actually when I started this ministry, and it's origami earrings. So this is actually origami paper. Now this is a super easy and fun way to, if you're a craft dummies like me, this is super easy for you. And this is something that you can actually bring it to mission trips. It's super cheap. And I bought my paper from Daiso, which is $2 shops, like a Japanese $2 shops here in Singapore. But you can go to, you can also use scrapbook paper or any $2 shops or stationery shops that you have in your countries, and you can buy those paper. So the size that we need is the normal origami size is about this size, this big, and then the ones that I bought is one package. You get 100 pieces of paper. So basically you can make 200 pairs of earrings. So you bring the mission trip is super cheap, and if you want to do it, ladies, women ministries, and your women ministry day, or you want to reach out to other women, so it's a fun and very inexpensive way to use as a way to outreach as well. So this is the things you need. First, you will need the origami paper, and next you will need jump ring. So I recommend it you buy jump ring that are 9mm or 10mm, because if the ring is too small, you cannot put the paper through. Later you will understand what I mean when you actually do it. And then besides the jump ring, you also need the earring hooks, and you can buy any earring hooks design you want, however you like it. And then a cutter, and then glue. And the glue that I have here is also from Daiso. Actually, by the way, I'm a Daiso queen, but they don't pay me. And so this is wonderful because you see the tip here is so narrow and so small, and it is perfect for this craft, because later you realize that we need very fine line when we glue up the ends together. So find one that have a small tip so you can kind of put it through when into a tiny little craft later. And then you need a scissor in case you need to trim off the imperfects in your craft. Okay, so let's get started. It's super easy. So let's take out your origami paper, something like this. And what you need to do first is to make a triangle. So you fold it up into half like this. So you have two triangle, front and back, looks like this. So what you need to do is use a razor to cut out this part. Okay, so you use a razor and your table, be careful your finger, and then kind of cut this out in the middle. So I'm going to cut it on the table here. Okay, so once you cut it out, you will have two triangle, looks like this. Okay, so we put one down, we use one of those. Okay, and then you fold it again to half like this. Okay, so once again you have front and back. Now depends on the size you want. The ones I'm wearing is a big size, which means I can just stop here and start folding. But if you're interested in a smaller size, what you need to do is just to make another smaller square. So I'll say it again. So like the ones I'm wearing is a bigger size, so you can just use this right now to start folding. But if you think, oh, this is too big, you don't like things too big, so you can cut, cut one more layer and then use a smaller triangle. So for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna make a smaller version. So this is what I'm gonna do. So after I cut this, I cut again, okay? So now I have an even smaller triangle like this. So remember the paper that we have just now? We have 3 pieces of paper, looks like this. So the paper will actually cut up 3 different triangles. Now these two can make a pair of earrings, and the rest, this one, you can make a big pendant, like like this and use it as a pendant. So you make a bigger leaf and use it as a pendant later. So you have one piece of paper, you can basically do a set of earrings, which is, I mean, it's a set of jewelry set. So it's very cool. You got your earrings and your pendant with your necklace. Okay, so let's focus on this. So let's say we do a smaller shape. So you see this here, and you fold it in half again, so that when you fold it up, you have front and back would be the same. So now you fold it up like this, front and back is the same, right? Okay, so at the very top here, you start folding up a very small gap, maybe 1/4 inch, a very small line like this. So you fold it up like this, okay? So it looks like this. Okay, so what you need to do now is to do it front and back, like you're folding up a fan all the way to the top, okay? So I'll try to do it in the air. It's on the table. Okay, so this is what you do. So I have this, right? And so I turn it to the back and follow the same line, okay? And then I'll do it at the back, okay? Like this. So I'll turn around and do it. So it's like folding up a fan. You go back and forth, and all the way to the top. So back and forth. Instead of turning, I just do like this. Back and forth, all the way to the top. Now let's say at the top, you have a little triangle here, right? Let's say you have a little triangle here. So you can either fold it inside the gap here, just hide it, okay? Just hide it, okay? Or you can just cut it off. So now we have something looks like this, okay? Looks like this, okay? So what you need to do now is to the longer side, now you fold it into half, okay? So this is what we're gonna do. So we fold it in half, looks like this. Okay, so it looks something like this, okay? So now this is where you get your jump ring here. And then you open up the jump ring. You can use your hand, or if you want a plier, I have a plier here, so you can open it. And then you put the ring to the middle here. And now you understand why I need, you know, best if you get 9 mm or 10 mm, especially if you have folded really thick and the ring won't go through, okay? So when you fold it, try to fold it as thin as possible. So now I have a hard time putting it through because I fold it too thick, okay? So don't worry if you fold it too thick, you just start over again, okay? And so once you put it in, you will also put, I didn't do a very good job here, so let's do it. Bigger jump ring. Okay, so now you got the jump ring through. I actually changed it to a 9 mm jump ring, okay? So it's better you use a bigger jump ring, so I cheated, okay? I changed from the 8 mm jump ring to the 9 mm, so 9 mm is actually better. So it should look like this, okay? Before you close it, you put the earring hooks here, and then you just close it, okay? And once you close it, I usually would turn this to inside here so that it won't come out, so it will look like this, okay? So now what we need to do is to glue together the pieces. Okay, so if you open here at the bottom, you can see the very last piece here, you see? Is open, right? So what you need to do is to use the glue, very thin, very, you know, don't put too much there, otherwise it spill over. You just put very little here and just put the glue there. Okay, just tiny little bit. Now you understand why I need a thin, like a very narrow pointed glue here, okay? So you close that, and on the other side, same thing, you open at the end here. On the other side, you open the end, right? You see this gap at the very end, okay? So you also use the glue to put it there. Okay, and now in the middle, right here, so in the middle here, middle part, you put the glue in the middle, okay? And then once you put, just on one side is fine, okay? Just put one side in the middle, you see the glue here, and then you just close it, okay? and you hold it in your hand for about 30 seconds. Okay, wait until it's dry. Okay, so don't open it until it is dry, otherwise it you know, the whole thing exploded, so you don't want that. Okay, so you wait until it's dry, and you can slightly open it. Okay, it's still not completely dry, but I just want to show it to you. Okay, so how it looks like. So you can see, you can see the shape is almost done here. You see here, I didn't do a good job. At the top it's kind of opens up, there's a hole there. So what you need to do, you make sure you have glue all the way to the top, you know, when you do that, and then you kind of hold it in your hand. It's not enough yet, so you hold it in your hand for about 1 minute. Okay, wait until it's dry, and then when you open it up, it should looks like this. Now remember, this is a smaller version of it, right? So you can see this is smaller. Okay, like this. I see a very cute tiny little baby here, so it's very pretty. Okay, now since this is paper, you're probably thinking, oh, how can I preserve it, right? So the best way you can do is to put a coating on top. If you live in North America, there's something called pot mulch. You can put a coating on top. And another thing that you can use is you could use nail polish, the clear nail polish to put on top, so that you kind of coat it. But if you go to a mission trip, it's super expensive. You don't want to do that. So what you can do is, so you can use something like this. I actually made this myself because sometimes my students would go to places where it's very remote and very poor, so they can make their own glue basically. So you know how you make your glue is, I've learned you can use rice or flour, different things to make your glue. But we live in Singapore, so we don't have to make our own glue. So, but if you do go to places where they have to make their own glue, then you can use those methods. But this is just normal white glue that I bought, and then I just put it in this jar about this thick. About this, I just pour it in here, and then add about this amount of hot water in there, and I shake it off. So as you can see, it's very liquidy. It's very liquid, right? Very fluid. Looks like pot mulch, but of course it's fraction of the price, because pot mulch is in Singapore is about $16 Sing dollars. Very, in a small bottle, very ridiculous price. So I make my own. So you can, what you need to do, you can basically put the if I can open it, finally I open it. So what you need to do is dip a little bit, and then use a brush. What you need to do is just paint it all over the whole earrings. Just a very thin layer. And don't worry if you see all the white marks, it will disappear once it dries up. And you can see after you've done that, you let it dry for a few hours, and then it becomes very sturdy. But still, you cannot wear it to take a shower, but at least it's more durable. Okay, so this is another way of coating it. But if you just make one pair for yourself, but hopefully you don't just make one pair for yourself, but you know, you can run a craft party. That's the whole point we're doing this, so you can make your own like glue, the ones that I have, right? Very easy to make. Okay, so that's it. So now you can let it dry, and then let it cool off, and it's done. All right, so if you one more thing, I noticed that mine is not perfect. At the end I have, you know, not perfect area, so what I need to do is just trim off the thing that I think is not good enough. So I'll just trim off the imperfects here. All right, so it's done, voila. And for the same side, this side, I just quickly show you how you do it. Remember that you used to have a big triangle here. So basically same thing. So I'm going to do the step again very quickly. So fold it in half like this. So your front and back would be the same. and start from the very bottom here. So, and about 1/4 inch. So you do, remember, front and back, right? So you do front and back, the same thing. And just to save time, I will do this. Okay, so front and back, we're done. It looks like this. Okay, so the longest side, you will close it like that, right? So now you take a bigger jump ring, I would say about 9 or 10 mm. So you open it and you put in the middle. Okay, you put in the middle. And at this time you will just close it, and then later on you can put a string on top. Okay, so now you have something like this. It's bigger, so I'm going to glue all the ends and I'll show it to you what I mean. And quickly I will do this, and here. Okay, so you have something like this. Okay, wait until it's dry, 30 seconds in your hand, and then you can put a sway. Now if you have string like this at home, you know, it's like a sway string, so this is what you do. You just put it around it and make it a necklace. Okay, so you totally just make it look like this. So now you have a beautiful necklace. Okay, once you ties it up, or you make it longer or shorter, and then you know, basically you make a set like this. So it's really fun and easy, and I hope it's helpful for you. And I really hope that you can use it to minister to others at either mission trips or at your church as a way to outreach to other women, bring women to your church. And this is a great way to reach people into the church. And hopefully you can do a few rounds of craft sessions. They might want to stay at a church and continue to seek God. And that is the greatest hope that I have for you for this ministry. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.